Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. We are continuing on today with our analysis and discussion of the affidavit of probable cause in the case styled as Idaho versus Kohberger. In our last episode, we learned that Detective Payne obtained a search warrant on December 23rd, 2022, and that certain records from Mr. Kohberger's cell phone provider, AT&T, were returned on that very same day. And during our last episode, we discussed what page 16 stated regarding information that was gleaned therefrom. The bottom of page 16 going into 17 talks about other records that were returned. And here he writes, further analysis of the cellular data provided showed that the 8458 phone utilized cellular resources on November 13th, 2022. That is the date of the crimes, ladies and gentlemen, consistent with the phone traveling from Pullman, Washington to Lewiston, Idaho via U.S. Highway 195. At approximately 12:36 p.m., he continues, the 8458 phone utilized cellular resources that would provide coverage to Kate's Cup of Joe coffee stand, which is located, ladies and gentlemen, at 810 Port Drive in Clarkston, Washington. Now recall, although we talk about one city in Washington, another in Idaho, these are two separate states, but the travel back and forth doesn't take a very long time because these cities and these towns that we talk about are on or near their respective states' borders. Page 17 continues with a discussion of surveillance footage, which Mr. Payne obtained. First, he talks about surveillance footage from the U.S. Chef store located at 820 Port Drive, Clarkston, Washington, and adjacent to the aforementioned, ladies and gentlemen, Kate's Cup of Joe, and that it showed a white Elantra consistent with suspect vehicle 1 drive past Kate's Cup of Joe at a time consistent with the cellular data from the 8548 phone. So we see here that Detective Payne has now, for at least the second time, made a typographical error regarding the phone. The phone is supposed to be cited as 8458, but he writes here 8548. This is at least for the second time in this affidavit. He continues that at approximately 12:46 p.m., the 8458 phone then utilized cellular data in the area of the Albertsons grocery store at 400 Bridge Street in Clarkston, Washington. Surveillance footage obtained from the Albertsons showed Mr. Kohberger exit the white Elantra, consistent with suspect vehicle 1, he writes, at approximately 12:49 p.m. Again, this is on November 13th, the day of the murders. Interior surveillance cameras, he continues to write, showed Mr. Kohberger walking through the Albertsons, purchase unknown items at the checkout, and then leave at approximately 1:04 p.m. So what he's doing here is he's matching up information returned from the cellular provider to surveillance information that he's obtained from at least 2 commercial outlets. This page then ends with a depiction, the final one of the affidavit, where Detective Payne writes, Kohberger's possible path of travel is depicted below, and then he is certain to state in parentheses, not to scale, and it is a depiction which ends page 17. This will now conclude our analysis of this page of the affidavit of probable cause. Please join us next time when we will discuss page 18, which is the final page of this affidavit. Thank you for joining us today, and we hope to see you again.